Hello, everyone. How are you today? Susday, glad to see you. Pam, glad you're here. Um, Hopefully, everyone else will join soon. Uh, we talk about anything. You've been having a lot of good video streams, Pam. News. Welcome to everyone. Even if you're on replay, you're welcome here. And yeah, it's my Tuesday night, so that's been going on in my life. I'd love to hear what's going on with you. Uh, Pam, would you like to come? Let me put an invite link here for anybody. Like, I can put you on panel. So much going on. Um, and around the world too. The cyclone in that just passed New Zealand. Hope Amelia's okay. Uh, but I've seen some footage coming out of there, and there's a lot of flooding. There's another New Zealand family that I follow on YouTube, so they might have been in the area as well. Nita, Grace, wow, boom, boom. Hello and welcome. Nita, where are you from? Because I know Grace is from California, Muse is from Florida. Just saying that I hope Amelia's doing okay. Uh, Andy's usually pretty good about being here as soon as he gets done walking his dog, so hopefully he'll jump on soon. And let's see, it's 9 o'clock. It's the middle of the night for Amelia. Oh, Michigan! Michigan was in the news today, um, or last night. I guess it's last night for you guys because it's morning, but for me it was daytime. That there was Michigan State University in Lansing had a shooting, but the suspect is dead. But I'm getting so tired of police always saying it's an ongoing investigation. We can't say anything because it's an ongoing investigation. I mean, I remember when they used to say, well, we're not going to identify the victims until we've notified their family. Okay. Oh, happy Valentine's Day, Grace. Oh, and they shot down one of the balloons or something. All these UFO things, are they all weather balloons? I think there's been 3 or something. I don't know. I think they're prepping people, to have like some kind of UFO thing actually happen. Um, and was it Project Bluebeam? I think that it's about that. The last 3 weren't balloons. Oh, okay. I mean, I've just seen a few headlines. I haven't really followed uh, since it was the whole China balloon thing that came through. Um, but I do know they shot some things down, um, and that they're being called technically UFOs because they were unidentified flying objects, which I guess means they know they're not weather balloons. Yeah, so welcome everybody. Yeah, that's that, and then 33,000, dead in Turkey and Syria, from that earthquake. We don't know much yet about the balloons or about the shooting. Chalet, hello, welcome. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, you guys are You're my lovelies. I do. I love all of you. And Pam, thank you for kind of starting this family. Because a lot of the people here are also musers. The earthquake. So sorry for those people. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I think Michigan was the octagon shaped one. Yeah, I really, I mean, sometimes I just see the headlines, so I kind of have a just basic idea of things that are happening, and I don't read any further. I don't watch anything. Um, I happened to be on the computer when the Michigan shooting, law enforcement was having a press conference. So I went ahead and jumped on that, and of course, I didn't say anything at all. We don't know much about the UFOs. Better way to say what they are for a better way. Yeah, they got to figure out what they're going to say about it. Okay, kind of like Roswell. Uh, yeah, got to get their story straight first. Hmm. But for me, I this week, well, today's Tuesday night for me, and so yesterday I started temporarily on a freelance basis working for the marketing agency that is interested in me being the creative director. So that's kind of exciting. It's just they had some crisis because we're in the interview process. They wanted to see me again, have more meetings and everything. And and then they said, well, look, would you be interested in coming in next week? Because we've got some marketing campaigns that we need to move forward. And we could use your insight, your creativity, um, to help these projects meet their deadline. And so I said, sure, no problem. We talked some numbers and everything. It was satisfactory. Um, so this week I'm on freelance, and it was kind of like, oh, well, they could see how I interact with the team. What's my style of management? How creative am I? Because you could put anything on a CV or resume, and they call resumes CVs out here. And for curriculum vitae or curricula vitae, whatever, something like that. It's a CV, is what it is. And I mean, it's a resume, is all it is. Um, oh, that's another thing that happened is the in Ohio. Um, but let me just finish this up. So uh, today, as I was leaving the office, uh, the CEO came up to me and we were chit chatting and everything. And I asked him about something, and he's like, "Well, about next week, about moving forward." I said, "Oh, is 2 days enough to see that I'm good enough?" Or something like that, right? And yeah, you know. So I said I'm available to start full time next week if you want. Next Monday, I could be here full time. And he goes, okay, tomorrow when you come in tomorrow, let's have a conversation. I'm like, okay. So, I mean, I was really scared. I was really scared because it's going to be very life changing, and sometimes you get comfortable, you get a comfort zone, even if it's not your best place, even if you're struggling, it still becomes a comfort zone because it's lasted so long. And um, and so the idea of working full time, of you know working in an office, it was a little bit scary, but then I started envisioning the positive things and the positive ways that my life would be changing if I put forth the effort to work full time in an office. Then the rewards of the salary that I'll be getting, and the changes, the positive changes I could make in my house and my living arrangements and everything, and saving for the future. Because right now I have no savings, so being able to have savings for retirement eventually, because I'm 56. Uh, yeah. Then I started thinking more, and there's a house just about 4 or 5 houses down from where I live right now, and um, I've just had a really good feeling about it, and it's been for rent for a while, and for sale or rent, and um, so I went ahead and I called the number, and then I said, and they sent me some pictures, and I said, well, can you meet me there? I'd like to see the inside, I'd like to walk through. And so they did, and they told me how much it is. And of course, it's more than where I am right now, because right now I'm basically in a townhouse, and this would be a standalone single home dwelling. We call those villas out here. So it would be a villa as opposed to a townhouse. And so, yeah, the rent would be a little bit more, but it would be affordable with the new salary. So it's like I needed to be able, not, I was being cautious. I don't want to count any chickens before they hatch. I'm not packing anything up or anything like that. But on the other hand, I needed to be able to visualize what this new opportunity would be if I go there, right? Then what would it be? And so by going and seeing the inside of this house, enable me to envision more that positive change, and to start viewing it as a positive change, because I was still nervous even to make that. I mean, talk about kind of like stepping out on faith. I was nervous. I didn't want, in fact, it took me days. I took a picture of the sign for days before it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to call this number. Because I thought, well, maybe I could have somebody else call the number. And I was like, no, I'm going to do this. Right. And so, yeah, I've been, and you know what? It feels good being part of a team, because they have a real team atmosphere in this office, rather than, all the drama and the politics that go on in an office, which is what I was kind of hesitant about. Then, no, there's a really, really good team atmosphere in this office. Uh, they've got really nice little break rooms, with sodas. They're kind of like a mini Google model, in that, like, you've got the coffee pot and all the dishes and everything, and you've got a refrigerator full of sodas. Anybody, I guess, can just take a soda if they're thirsty. And there's a water cooler thing that's got the cold water and the hot water, and then the room temperature water. So yes, things are changing, and for the better. And I'm excited. And now I'm excited. I'm real excited about it. Okay, so that's enough about me. Ohio. I have a friend who lives in Ohio. I thought, rather than just contacting her, I should Google, Google Map, see where this train thing happened, and make sure she's not anywhere near it. If anybody knows where it is on the map in relation to Columbus, my friend is about an hour and a half north of Columbus, Ohio. So if it's to the east, the west, or the south of Columbus, then I don't need to worry about her at all. But she's north of Columbus. She was like my best friend in the U.S. before I moved out here. For many, many, many years. We met when I was first married. In fact, I think we met before the wedding, because the church that she was going to, that my ex-husband was high school friends with her husband. And so we tried this church, a Baptist church, and um, they ran into each other. So it's like, oh, let's hang out, because we were all in our 20s at the time. Um, yeah, and so that's where we met. And then she got divorced, I got divorced, she got remarried. I didn't get married. I had a fiance once, though, that had a great proposal, but I think I already talked about that somewhere. Maybe I should make like a little video only talking about that story. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I have seen people talking on YouTube about a movie that was filmed in this very town in Ohio, I guess, and it was about exactly what happened, and like, what are the chances of that? That's crazy. So, other than that, I don't know much details. And Grace, you saw Aaron Brockovich was piping in on the Ohio derailing situation. Ah, wow, I wonder what she has to say. Missed that story. It would be a great day to tell it. Oh, you guys want me to tell you the proposal story? Okay. It looked like there's a little bit of Wi-Fi lag. Poor people in Flint still. You mean Flint, Michigan, with the water, their drinking water? Is it still dirty and horrible? That's like, and that's America, right? And people complain about third world countries, and they think of Cambodia as a third world country. Well, let me tell you, we've got water out of the tap that's drinkable. A lot of foreigners don't want to drink it, but if you test the water, it's up to or at least when it leaves the waste treat, or not waste treatment, but the water treatment plant, when it leaves there, it passes every test of every international standard. Okay, now the pipes that it has to go through before it gets to your house, there could be issues with pipes. All right, um, but the water itself coming out of the water treatment plant is wonderful. Maybe somebody from Cambodia needs to go to Flint and help them. That would, yeah, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Maybe I should like write the prime minister or something and say, hey, why don't we send some people, some of our water treatment people over to Flint, Michigan, and help them out. I figure there's some kind of political objective. There's got to be. I mean, the fact that it was done in the first place was total political move, and of skimming money and stuff probably too. Total corruption. But okay, proposal story. So I was living in Utah at the time, attending Southern Utah University, um, and I was in my 30s. Um, and at one point, I was working at a hot springs, and that was about a half hour south of where the city I was living in with the university. And so it was volunteer. I didn't get paid for it, but I got to soak in the hot spring for free, right? So, and they had like a bed and breakfast there. Um, so I would help do laundry and change sheets, like cleaning lady stuff. But then they also provided breakfast for people. So sometimes I'd help cook breakfast. Sometimes my volunteer work was just sitting in the hot springs and being like hostess to people if they had any, because then I had a visor that said like Pod Tempe Hot Spring staff or something like that. So if anybody had any questions or anything like that, then they could ask me. So somebody had to be on duty at the springs, right? Because you had the house, which had the bed and breakfast, and then you walked along a little path to like where the springs came up out of the like a little cave kind of thing, side of a. It was like a ravine. There's another word for that too. Um, can't think of it at the moment. Um, a canyon. That's the word. So, like a narrow canyon or ravine that a river cut through. And anyway, so one of the customers that would come and soak very regularly was a man named Kevin, and he was really tall, had blonde hair, and we started dating. Um, I was still going to the university. He was a contractor, uh, built, with fences, like chain link fence and those plastic fences that look like picket fences or anything like that, but they're made of plastic so that they last forever or whatever. But he, like, so installing fences and everything, and he was thinking about, he was working for someone, but thinking about starting his own company and blah, 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 blah. The proposal, right? That's what we want, is the proposal. Well, so one night, um, he takes me out to dinner, and okay, we planned. It was Netflix and chill before there was Netflix. Okay, so we kind of he had we were gonna come back and watch a video after dinner, and we went to like the nicest restaurant in town. I don't remember what I ordered to eat, but he just seemed a little off and like maybe a little nervous, or I kept asking, is there something wrong? Is something wrong? Because I could tell that something was off, right? Everything's okay with the dogs. Um, and so we get back to I had an acre of land with a mobile home on it. Um, so we got back and we put one of my favorite movies, The Wedding Singer, in the video cassette, right? So we put it in. We're watching it on TV, and he's still acting really kind of nervy. Something's off, and but we're watching it, and I'm enjoying it because I love The Wedding Singer. I absolutely love the movie The Wedding Singer. And that's with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. I think it's the first movie that they did together, that was like a romantic comedy kind of thing. And so it gets to the part almost at the very end where they're on the plane together. She's in economy and he's in first class, because she was leaving to go marry this other guy, right? And they were flying to Vegas to go get married, and he's got to stop her because he's realized now that he's in love with her, and the only thing he could do was get a first class ticket to be able to get on the plane. And Billy Idol is there, and they come up with this plan, and Billy Idol lets him use his guitar. And there was a song that he had started writing but hadn't finished writing yet. And so they get the intercom. Oh, is it Billy Idol that gets on the intercom and says, "Okay, we have a special guest here today on this flight, and here you go, mate," or whatever. He starts singing. He starts playing. It's "I Want to Grow Old with You," and it's kind of silly, but it's just so emotional. And we've watched it before, so he knew how I felt about it. And I told him, Kevin, I told him, I said, look right there when he comes through the curtain, because she hears him over on the intercom singing. What? And then he comes through the curtain from first class, and you just see that moment in her eyes where she knows she loves him too. And then it gets comical, and that like her fiance, the guy she was going to go to Vegas and marry, is trying to get back up to this. Oh, what? Oh, I'm gonna beat you up, because he sees what's happening. And then Billy Idol comes with the drink cart and like pushes him down the aisle to the back of the plane and stuff. But that moment when he comes through the curtains and she sees him, So we're watching, and that moment happens on this video, and it cuts to Kevin on the TV. He had gone in secret and had a friend that knew how to record him, and put it in and edited it just this moment. So we're sitting there watching. I'm watching the TV, and there's Kevin on the screen proposing, and I look at him, and he's there with the ring, and so yeah, best proposal ever. That was great. And so we were engaged for a while, but then like it wasn't working out for various reasons. That would be a whole nother story. Um, so I won't bore you with all that. But we mutually decided, because we said, well, why don't we take a break? Um, we're still monogamous. We're still, um, you know, still together for the moment, but let's do a test and see if we can be friends, because we were friends before, right? So let's see if we can be friends, because we have no business getting married to each other if we can't relate to each other as friends first. So we're gonna back off, kind of separate, but still see each other on, because he started going back to school at the same campus that he decided to go to take some classes, geology. I think he was taking geology classes, and so we'd see each other on campus. We'd still meet each other for lunch or whatever, right? And it only took like a week or two, no more than 2 weeks, that then we had a conversation. You know what? We're great as friends, and we should stay friends. And so we ended the engagement, and stayed friends. So, but the proposal was amazing. Since I never really got one from my ex-husband, I don't think. We just got married. I don't know. I don't remember. It's kind of a blur, you know. I tend to try to forget most of that part of my life. So yeah. Oh, Valentine's Day, and so there we go, back again. I see lots of hearts and and stuff. Oh, clapping, yes. And Mama Rosie Love, hello! Great to see you in here. And happy Valentine's Day to you too. Yeah, best friends is good. So, I mean, now that I've moved to Cambodia and stuff, we've kind of lost touch, and I don't know. I guess he's moved on with his life. I've moved on with mine. Um, but yeah, at the time, I mean, we just kind of faded apart. Hello, honey. Yes, hello, Mama Rosie Love. I love saying that. I'm so glad you chose that as your name. And Chalet's been adding more music to her channel. If you haven't been there to her channel, make sure you go check out Chalet. Um, of course, I think everybody here knows Pam, right? If someone's watching that doesn't know Muse News, you got to go check out her channel. Uh, and we all love the fur babies. And yeah, so that's another thing with the house is I'm just like visualizing all the catification that I can do, and to have a catio. And like when I was walking through, I was like, there's a patio off of well, not a patio, it's a balcony. There's a but a large balcony. You could have a small table and chairs out there off the master bedroom. And I'm out there. I'm like, you know what? This needs like a screen for mosquitoes. But I would pay the money to screen in this patio. And he said, "Oh yeah, that's no problem, no problem." I'm like, "Yeah, catio." And for the dogs, having a special dog run area, and building like dog play equipment or exercise equipment thing, obstacle course kind of, not a lot. The area, it's not that big, but it's bigger than what they've got right now. So that's nice. and the huge yard, the kitchen, the kitchen. So I mean, when I get all that done, I'll do a tour of the inside. Um, I've never seen so many Shelleys in my life until this year. LOL. I think it's the year of the Shelley. Shelley Chalet. Yes. Hear your name and smile. Yes, yes. Chalets. Chalet Ray. um, my name is Miriam, and so even there's Marion, there's Miriam, and those two aren't that common, um, but certainly not Miriam. And there's a meeting I go to on Thursday night to help support my son, because it's like a recovery, a Christian AA type of thing, but set with Christian steps. And but I go, and it's, they've become a nice little family as well. Well, the guy who leads that has a teenage daughter named Miriam. Oh, I don't know if she spells it with an I or an A, but it's an M on both ends. And so one night he was calling his daughter, saying Miriam, and I looked, and my son James is a pretty common name, was next to me, because it was after the sharing time and all of that. They have like a little cookies and food. They call it the Solid Rock Cafe. That's cute. Refreshments. Okay, that's the word I'm thinking of. And I turned to James. I said, you know what? 56 years old. That's the first time in my life that someone's called my name talking about somebody else. I said, now I know how other people feel. Maiden name, Madge. Every substitute teacher would call me Madge. Okay, so like, how do I see the spelling difference, but I don't know this pronunciation difference. Mage, Mauge. My friend is a Marcy, but it's spelled Marcia, almost like Marcia. Maji. Oh, Maji. Is that Hungarian? I would think Hungarian, or like some form of, Amsterdam. What is that? Netherlands. That's what are the people? Why can't I think of what are the people called that live in the Netherlands? It's Norwegian. Okay, but you guys help me out. What? Holland, Netherlands, Amsterdam. There's Danish, but that's Denmark. Dutch. I I hope I didn't hurt anybody's ears when I pounded on the desk. Dutch. Okay. I mean, I had to get that out because they use those double A's a lot as well. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pam. Um, yeah. Well, I have quite a bit of ancestry that's Dutch, and my mom and I actually flew. She flew from America. I flew from Cambodia, and we flew to Amsterdam, and then we found the little town called Meppel, which is where our ancestors, because it's my mother's line, had come from in the 1600s, before the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock. They were already here in the 1600s. My grandpa was adopted, though, so who knows? I think I'm supposed to be McAllister, maybe. Okay, going to Irish or Scottish. Generally, the MC is Irish and the Mac is Scottish. Generally, but there's exceptions. Um, yeah, that was nice to go to it was my mom's first trip out of the United States. Besides, like, go a cruise down to Cabo San Lucas in Mexico, Um, yeah, it was her first time flying out of the country like that using a passport. Scottish, Irish, English, and Scandinavian. You know what? I have discovered that, I mean, according to Ancestry.com, there is, I think, Norwegian and Finnish that shows up enough in my, and so it must be on my father's side somewhere. Of course, if you go back far enough with the Scottish, a lot, you get a lot of that influence mixing with the Scottish, you know. But yeah, Welsh is clear, Irish is clear, Scottish is clear. And then it says Northern European for German and Dutch. No sound. Anybody else? Does everybody else have sound? Mama Rosie Love, maybe you need to go out and come back in. Go at Mama Rosie Love. Maybe you need to refresh. Okay. Chalet and Pam can hear. Yeah. So I had to write that because if she can't hear me, I have to write that. Okay. Yeah. So that kind of covers it. French on my dad's side as well. But the Welsh, the Irish, the Scot all come up clearly. Then there's and the Northern European is like a huge, like 46% or something. But that would have Dutch and German, and then there's a little like single digit percent of Norwegian and Finnish. Okay, good. You're back, and it worked. Yeah, I've had to do that before on other people's lives sometimes. Yeah. So Pam starting with StreamYard. Woohoo! I know. Did you sort out with the microphone? Mom's side, you have a French grandfather. That's cool. And yeah, Ancestry is pretty cool. In fact, I haven't checked in a day or two to see. I put some message because Ancestry.com gives you the people that you're matched with, right? Chalet, do you have a Valentine song? Angel voice. I hope your throat feels better. Love you, sister. Yes. And for the most part, when someone's a soprano, I don't usually like listening to them sing because I can't sing along, right? Because I'm an alto. And so if the song is in a pitch that they can sing, then I can't sing along. But that's okay. I mean, I don't know. I enjoy listening to you, Chalet. Yeah, You Light Up My Life, which I really, really, really enjoyed. Love you all so much. Are you leaving us, Pam? I hope not. And then Stuck on You. Oh, and that was, I didn't leave a comment on that one. That Stuck on You was really pretty. I really enjoyed that one. You Light Up My Life. I remember the movie, when the movie came out. I'd have to look and see 1970 something and figure out like how old I was when it came out. But I remember I had the album of the soundtrack, and Didi Khan is the actress that was the lead character who sang the song You Light Up My Life. And so on the soundtrack it's her singing, and then Debbie Boone came out and did her version, and so I didn't really like that one because I was too connected to the first one, to the original. Just gushing over this Valentine. Oh, you still have a snotty cold, but you sing through it. Sometimes it's almost better, right? That because if your nose is, if you can go nasal like this, right? But you can also, it can force you to sing with your throat only, right? You hear the difference? There's no nasal. I'm using my throat. So you can sing, sometimes you can even sing better. Oh, I love the Debbie Boone. Yeah. Oh, she had anorexia. Chalet, you did too. Oh my goodness. Whenever I hear anorexia, I always think of Karen Carpenter. Yeah, so many talented people here. And we have YouTube that we can share our talents with. Yeah, it's easier to sing higher. You can't, yeah. So yeah, sometimes you just kind of like you get above. Yeah, it's weird. Bulimia and anorexia both. Wow. Well, that's a past thing, right? Right? Just want to double check that's a past thing. Mama Rosie Love is a wedding singer too. What? Used to be first chair soprano. Now it's a stretch. Yeah. Yeah, I'm an alto. So, well, I'm glad Jesus saved you from that, Chalet. That's awesome. And Pam has a beautiful singing voice too. Yes, let's not forget about Pam, because like when you break into that song stuff, yeah, you're hitting all the notes there, right? Yeah. So interested in people's stories about their lives, of course. Yeah. It's a way of controlling something in your life. Yeah. Yeah. And in children, sometimes they'll control themselves with like if they have absolutely no control in their life, they'll use bowel movements as not for autistic children, but like other children, it's sometimes that's the only thing they can control, so they will have bowel movements when they're not supposed to, like they won't use the toilet or whatever, they'll poop their pants or their bed or whatever as a way of controlling something in a very passive aggressive way. It's something that happens. Yeah, Pam is good also. Yes, it is Chalet indeed. Yes, we are so blessed. We have all come so far in our lives, to get to where we are now. And even if it's not perfect at this very exact moment, I know each of us has things that we're working through and working toward. But I think we're all in a good place emotionally. We could start our own choir. Well, that's why we wanted to do the sing-alongs. That's why I got on this whole StreamYard in the first place. But it turns out there's just a hair of delay. So it's like if you're listening to me or listening to people on panel, it's so slight that you don't realize there's a delay between us, right? But if you're singing, then you notice the delay. And so I don't know. But now that I've got this marketing agency that I'm working at, they do a lot of social media and I'll work with a lot of platforms and things like this. And they do like a lot of video conferencing for companies, and so I was thinking, maybe I could ask if they could recommend, is there a platform that doesn't have a delay, or at least you wouldn't notice the delay, that everyone could sing along together. Yes, I remember. I would love for us. I know. Well, everybody come to Cambodia because I'm not leaving Cambodia. My mom just came. It's a great trip, It's about $1,000 for a ticket. I'd put everybody up in my new house, though. People make recordings and then somebody puts together somehow. There's got to be a way. sing-alongs, or maybe a Zoom type thing. Exactly. Or does Zoom have the slight delay that you don't notice it when people are talking, but you notice when people are trying to sing? I don't know. But it's kind of fun to use YouTube, right? So like having a platform that connects with YouTube. I don't know if Zoom does, or if you know, I don't know. I'll ask the agency which way. Now I'm doing it, Pam, about like, oh, you move the opposite direction. I had to cover up the light bulb, right? I love you too. I love everybody here. This is great. Does anybody want to come up on the panel? Tell your own story or something? What else has been happening in the news? Mm. Idaho 4, like it's like I, I'm done. I'm kind of done. I'm done. I'm just done. Until like there's the trial or something actually happens, but I don't need to hear people talking about just some kind of minute. Yeah, I'm done. And Michelle After Dark, the one that walks her dogs, um, she's all onto the lady that might have fallen in the river or might have been abducted. Um, so sometimes I'll watch what she's saying. Love, love, Pam. Yes, love for each other, love for the world. What we need is love. All we need is love. You know. Yes, Mama Rosie Love. I love that being your name. I love to say Mama Rosie Love. And Grace still in here? Oh, yeah. So what else is happening? So Idaho 4 is like done. There's UFOs dropping out of the sky. Superbowl. Anybody I mean, I didn't watch the game. I guess it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. But it was when I had my first day of my new job, right? So I couldn't like sit around. Hey, Grace, you're still here! Yay! We've got 7 eyeballs. That's good. And yeah, Super Bowl. So I watched. It was NFL and the NFL's official YouTube channel of their halftime show. I was surprised that it was only Rihanna. I know that there was, I think Pam, I think you handled it so nicely, Pam, that a lot of people were, starting to talk about, Illuminati and everything. Yes. And somebody was like, oh, I can't wait to see Rihanna. I really like Rihanna. And people almost started bashing, I think it was her. And you handled that so well. Putting everybody in check. I think I was watching it as a replay, maybe, so I might not have been in there to like actually like make a comment or something. Yeah, and telling people, you know what, everybody's at different stages. Everybody, everyone's welcome here. I think we all know. I think either we're on the live or seeing the replay, so we know. You handled that perfectly, Pam. Don't get me started on that. Oh, Chalet, no, you're fine. Yes, we can agree to disagree. My personal opinion, very Illuminati. Okay. And if you want to know like all the symbolism and stuff, there's plenty of videos out there that like I watch, you can watch. Donut is one that I like to watch. By the way, I know I ranted on about Super Bowl halftime. I wanted y'all to know I wasn't lost on the red platforms. The white is symbolic for something that I won't mention. A lot of satanic imagery. Exactly. Exactly. And fool me once, shame on me. I will speak my truth and how I feel. Well, exactly. I mean, it's not free speech if you have to shut up because of somebody else. We should, but it's just not. I was trying to say this once in as a moderator in T Revs. This was like a month or so ago. Losing battery. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see you next time, Pam. Yeah, I can. You got to stay plugged in because you're on so much. um, yeah, but you should be able to. Oh, so what I was telling them in T Revs, because these two people just kept going after each other. Um, this was before they arrested BK Brian K. Before he was arrested, and they're talking about the knife and this and that, or violence and whatever. And somebody brought up Antifa, and then a lot of people were going, "Well, who's Antifa?" And I actually even wrote, because I tend to be more of a mediator in situations like that. Um, so I said something like it's a group that stands for anti-fascism, and sometimes their protests get violent. Okay, very neutral, right? And other people were going, "Oh, it's their terrorist group, blah blah blah," and then you had other people, like people were there. You don't know what you're talking about, blah blah blah. So they were on opposite sides of Antifa, and one person obviously a supporter, and the other person very MAGA in their thinking. Oh, Pam, owing Shelley an apology. So sorry. You're talking about the um, oh on you're on your phone at the food bank. Ah, okay. Uh, when she got deleted out of the, or hidden from the chat, I mean, because I've got a wrench. I'm a moderator as well, and so I could see that with the K, not Kevin, the guy whose name begins with K, Ken or something. I don't know. It said well, I could see, because I have a wrench, that he is the one that hit her, and so that's why I wrote, because I know, Pam, sometimes you're busy talking. You're doing your own thing, right? So I wrote and I asked Ken, if that's his name, whatever his name is. Um, did you hide Shelley on purpose or something like that? I asked, and you might want to change the subject. Okay, wasn't the only one. Sorry, distilled water. Everyone buy water. Okay, so we're gonna change the subject. It got sorted out. He said it was an accident. Yeah, but the Super Bowl the Rihanna issue was handled very well, and Grace was also a culprit. No accident. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We don't need to. What's the term these days? They call spill tea. We don't need to spill tea. Um, oh, the baby had the phone. Ah, yeah. Mama Rosie Love piped in right away and said something. Yeah, yeah. The minute I saw that all her messages got hidden, and that she was hidden herself, um, jumped in. I jumped in. No, Pam, I think that you did. You immediately, as soon as you were alerted to it, Pam, you unhid her. immediately. As soon as you knew what had, that she had been hidden, you didn't even need to investigate anything or what. You unblocked her immediately. What else could you do? No, you don't need to be embarrassed. It wasn't your fault. You're not the one that did it. Yeah, you did great. Just like Mama Rosie Love says. Oh, Chalet says she was in time. So it told you that you were in time. You got some kind of message that said you've been put in timeout for 10 minutes. I'm just interested in how it works on that side. If you actually saw something. Yes, but I said too much, and I was too much that day. Okay, fair enough. If that's how you feel, and then you've apologized, and so you don't need to worry about it anymore. It's done. Yes, over. Oh, you got timed out over and over and over again. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, but the baby did it over and over again. I can see it happening accidentally once. But if it happened over and over again, that is so weird. Yeah. Yeah. That's what happens when you get bigger, I guess. I haven't had that problem, but then, I got like 8 people. you know, bots don't care about me. We can stay under the radar here. Yeah, I've heard lots of people say that. And bots are something that happen, that somebody creates bots for different reasons, and sometimes they're nefarious. Mama Rosie Love, I love you, Pam. Yes, yes, everyone here loves you, and we are so grateful that you come on, Pam, and on your lives, and you share such spiritual insight. You're bold enough to what was the thing you were talking about? Something you said that it was like that must be why you were up all night, was the thing that you had to get out, and you were talking about, gosh, I can't remember, but it was a subject that's like not many people talk about. I have a full house. Nine, the same number as my cats. Sorry, Shelly, it wasn't me, hon. I would never do that to you. Yes, lots of folks here. I shared on Facebook. Oh, thanks, Pam. That's so sweet of you. Yeah, you know what? I don't have like Facebook, uh, like the app on my phone or anything. I go on my Chrome browser. I go to Facebook and log in there and look at it through my browser. Grace, meow. Whoop whoop, Pam. Whoop whoop. Chalet, Pam. Did you say we couldn't say negative about Rihanna? CNY was also told to delete her comments. So let's just let it go now. Yeah. No, I don't think she said you couldn't say negative things, but it was about attacking the person, right? Like you could say, hey, Rihanna's part of the Illuminati or whatever, but don't attack someone because they like Rihanna and they're looking forward to the performance. That's what I got out of it when I was there. Yes, I did. So please forgive me. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. There you go. I kind of had filters on my ears. Gonna go. Bye, guys. Okay, Pam. You're welcome. Everybody's welcome. Don't worry about it. We love you, and none of us is perfect. So it's okay. You did. Forgive me. I'm sorry. That's it. It's done. So, okay, not going to talk about the Super Bowl. And you're out too. Okay, Chalet. Well, it's only been an hour, but that's okay. Grace, sometimes in chat, comments can sound worse than they are meant. Yeah, yeah. That's true. And I don't even remember who it was that was saying that they were looking forward to seeing the performance, that they really like Rihanna. But it's all right. So we're gonna agree, Grace. Yeah. Well, that's what's neat about StreamYard is that people can come up on panel and actually chat, and then talk. Um, but I know a lot of you are afraid to. Yes, Grace, love you, Pam. Yeah. And right after she just shared on the Facebook. Oh, well, I hope I managed the situation okay. you know, because I'm pretty sure we all love each other. So, and I got one of the kitties right here. Kitty, kitty, you wanna say hi? You are. You say hi to everybody. This is Kitty, kitty. She's the youngest. He's the youngest and the newest addition to the family. Let's put you back on the desk. There you go. I'm cool. Awesome, Grace. Thank you. you know, and I think the new job has been going well too. There's a holiday coming up called Khmer New Year. It's in April. And so, of course, if you want T-shirts made or different things like that, you got to start thinking about it now so that things can be produced. And you got to go through an approval process and everything, and then for things to be produced in time for Khmer New Year in the middle of April. And yeah, we have three New Years here because we have what we call International New Year, which is January 1st. And then we celebrate Chinese New Year, which is not, excuse me, not designated a public holiday, but it's a bank holiday. Banks close, and most a skeleton crew will be left on in government offices. So nothing's going to get approved or done or anything like that, right? And the city really empties, and a lot of businesses they got shuttered. They roll down. They just put the metal door, roll it down, and they go out of town. So Chinese New Year is the second one, and then Khmer New Year, which is culturally the New Year for the Khmer culture, which is Cambodian culture. And anyway, so that's a couple of products. We're working on the campaign was kind of a little bit at a standstill. Not a standstill, but just um, a log jam, maybe. I don't know, but because I don't want to say too much. But so between us providing artwork and the client, saying, well, we want this, and can we revise this, and and it's coming up to the deadline, and so we had to get things wrapped up, right? So that's why they had me start right away. It's like, well, I'll do this week as a freelance, and then still be considered for this position of creative director. Which way is my hair? That way and that way. Okay. Maven, honey, gotta head out, honey. So I'm so glad I caught a live. Yes, Mama Rosie Love, so glad you're here. Anyway, so I've yesterday it's like, okay, what's everyone presented to me about their clients and their projects and where they're at, and what's been the process to that point. And I was able to come up with some great creative ideas that then today The graphic designers and art directors uh, worked on those ideas, and they look really great. I'm really excited. I think that when they're given to the client, it's they're going to be happy. If they're not happy, there's something wrong with them. Even though we can't say that to them, right? uh, but yeah, we got to make the clients happy, and I think it's going to be obvious between what they've gotten in version 1, version 2, version 3, and what they're going to get now. I think they're going to say, wow. If they don't like it, they're going to at least say there's been a big difference. Right? Something happened over there, because they're giving us much better artwork, right? I feel confident at a minimum of that, but I'm also pretty confident that they're going to like uh, what we've done. And if they don't outright approve it as is, it's probably going to be something that they might say, oh, we'll just adjust this or adjust that. But I think they're going to be happy with the artwork that we're going to give them. So yeah, so I'll keep you posted on all that. Um, Sorry that Andy didn't make it tonight. That's unusual. Uh, and and Keck Rangel and Grace, not Grace. I'm sorry. What was his partner's name in the UK? I don't remember now. It's because it's been so long since she's been in. But they haven't been in for a while either. It was fun when they were in. But alrighty, I guess I'll wrap up tonight. But it was great. Seeing everybody's comments. I'm not seeing your faces, but I'm seeing your comments and everything, right? So to see everybody here, and it was nice to catch up and chat a little bit, just ramble about. I hope you enjoyed the proposal story, because that was awesome. That was an awesome proposal. I really enjoyed that. That was a high point in my life. Highs and lows. That was a high. Uh, so I'll say good night from my end, but I think most of you have a wonderful day ahead, and I'll catch you either here or at Pam's. Definitely catch you around on the YouTube, and just thank you so much for being a family that we do all love each other and care for each other and pray for each other, uh, and that's a good thing. And so if there's messed up things in your life, things you're struggling with, at least there's this good thing, right? Okay. Good night, everybody.